All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. I know we're in the 70s, but I don't know what number exactly, and I don't know what number it's going to produce. 71. It is 71. All right, perfect. Well, I'm excited because it's our second episode live here in Cards and Culture. I'm with special guest Brian Oliver. Thank you for joining me.
Good to have you.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous though because I'm not going to lie. You came into the space with Mackenzie Landry, and you absolutely killed your first take when you guys were doing a thing in here, and they asked you to do it again, and you did it again.
Man, she's a perfectionist. So
you're a better man than me.
I think we did 100 takes, right?
You did. So you wound up staying here way longer.
I nailed number 1 and number 100.
Yes. Yeah. What was the one that wound up going? Please don't tell me it was the first one.
They cropped it together. They always make me look good. So.
All right, that's it. Yeah. Well, thank you for real. Thank you for taking time out of your day. We did this last minute, so I appreciate it. But let's get a little bit background of you. You are from Baton Rouge originally, right?
From Baton Rouge, born and raised, went to Catholic high school, left Catholic high for a little bit, played a couple years of college ball, nothing worth writing home about. Came back, went to LSU, finished up LSU, got kind of into the business sector, waited tables, bartended, all that stuff, and then I got involved into a business venture with a previous partner of mine in the healthcare sector, and spent the last 15 years building a nationwide program similar to that of what we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but you and I actually got connected on this stuff. We started, the first time that you came into Cards and Culture was Matchpoint, and I didn't really know too much about it. I'd heard it in the works because, obviously there was a lot of rumbling about it in town with the NIL. We kind of crossed paths a little bit. So introduce everybody to Matchpoint, what it is, and you're the CEO, correct?
CEO,
yeah, awesome. So talk a little bit about it and take it away.
Yeah, man.
You'll do better than me.
So we are a virtual agent platform that connects brands or small businesses to talent or influencers all over the country. And basically the way the app works is you download the app. It's completely free. You create a profile, either a brand a brand or a talent profile. Once you create that profile on the app, you kind of put in, your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies. You can fill out a little bio area in that profile. And once the profile is created, the 4-factor algorithm is going to connect you or match you to a business or a talent, whichever side that you're on. And so it kind of shows you, it gives you a list, like a Rolodex of, so like if I'm an influencer, it will bring up all the businesses that will match to the profile that I filled out.
Nice.
If I like fishing and hunting, it's going to connect me to like a Bowie Outfitters or Cabela's. If I like sports, it's going to connect me to a sports brand, maybe such as yourself.
Yes.
And so, that's really how the app works.
Yeah, and it's kind of founded on almost like you said, the algorithm, the technology is based on almost like online dating, right?
Yeah.
Because it's both sides have to come together for your mutual interest.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and I love it because as a business owner and I'm a former athlete, right? Yep. I felt like when this happened in the NIL, if I was here, my head would be spinning. You couldn't have an agent, you couldn't do those things. Everything's so new, right? So this kind of just allows it an easy way to kind of have a landing spot for everybody, right?
Sure, yeah. And, some of these athletes, and it doesn't just have to be athletes, by the way, or NIL. We are NIL focused right now, given the time, but we are opened up to any and all influencers all over the country. Cool. But yes, it gives them a platform for them to go and to connect, because if you or I are, we're playing sports back in the old days and we want to connect to a restaurant or, Cards and Culture, who do I reach out to?
Right.
How do I get in touch with whoever? And these kids aren't going to know that. You and I would probably have a hard time doing that. So we wanted to create a platform where they could go online and then they could reach out through the platform. They could make pitches or receive offers. We also have a really cool chat function I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit, but
what about does it set market value though? Does that help? Do you guys keep track of that? Does it show how many people, what they got paid, that kind of stuff?
So it's not going to show what each person's deal is, but we do have an industry rate kind of feature where you can click on it. And that way, if you're a business and you're about to offer an influencer, I want to know what the going rate for that influencer might be based upon the number of followers that they have.
Right.
So there's a little link right there. It kind of gives you an idea. That said, it is going to depend upon the number of followers, the engagement, and all that stuff. So we have some really, really cool features coming down the pipeline where it'll show social media engagement, which for somebody like yourself or other businesses in town, and they want to be able to create or find a true value with an influencer, because influencers, they may have, let's just say, purchased some of their followers.
Right.
We can kind of sift through all of that and make sure that you are receiving exactly what you're paying for.
I love that. And as a business owner, right, like it's the age of the micro influencer too, right? That's the thing that's
absolutely
cool.
I mean, it's we love small business.
Right.
Yes, there's corporate America out there, and I'm sure we'll end up doing some big deals with them, but we don't want to forget small business. I mean, that's what this country was founded upon.
Yeah,
so.
100%. And especially like startups, right? Like I'm 2 months into business. I can't be shelling out thousands of dollars for kids and things like that. So it allows me to work with kids or get creative even on like strategic influencers, right? Like maybe I'm looking for a Baton Rouge native on the football team whose market might be a little bit more affordable or like achievable for me, but it's also going to hit our demographic of Baton Rouge. He might be a Catholic high kid, right? And have a huge network. His family and friends are more likely to engage and be proud of him for getting a local sponsorship, that kind of stuff.
Man,
right?
I feel like you live on the app, man.
Yeah,
You must be playing with this a lot.
I haven't yet. No.
You're taking the words out of my mouth.
All right, good.
Yeah, no, so you're absolutely right. We have the matching algorithm, but then in addition to that, we have a search tool at the top. It works similar to that of Google or what you would find on Instagram. So let's say you're an influencer and you want to find a pizza place to review or to make a pitch to. You can type in pizza, all the pizza places come up. You can type in the city, the state, all of that stuff. So as long as it's in the keywords of the profile of the other person, it's going to pull up and it's going to kind of, again, sift through all of the BS, if you will. So.
No, I love it. And that's, so for us, for the NIL stuff, like, I mean, again, we'll dip and bounce around, but NIL was so important for our business. Literally the day we opened up the doors was the day that they passed that. So I wanted, but you saw Barstool through everything at everybody, right? And so I was like, all right, let's do it a little different. We're going to be smaller, intimate. And part of the whole NIL process is trying to teach kids, even these kids from Baton Rouge, and this might be the most important time of your life, right? You never know. Some kids are going to go on to the next level, and even in business and different things in the professional world, it might be bigger than right now. But for the majority of kids, this might be the most attention that they have, right? Mm-hmm. The most time that they can monetize their likeness and image. So I'm trying to teach them about the relationships that you have with the people. So what I love about you guys are you're intimately connecting these brands and partners, not just one-off, grabs and writing a check or giving a kid cash. You're giving lasting partnerships. And that's what I'm looking for with Cards and Culture too, right? So I can go and find a freshman that's from Baton Rouge that I know might be here for the next 4 years and know I have a partnership, hopefully that's going to grow with his career or her career, right?
You nailed it. And then in addition to that, I mean, some of these, we spoke to an LSU gymnast actually just the other day, and she's finishing up college, but she's decided she wants to take somewhat of an influencer role even after she's finished with college. Nice. And so, like you said, she's working on deals with Orange Theory and some really big names, and then also some local venues here in town and stuff like that. And so she will be able to. I mean, she does incredible posts, and so they keep re-upping with her every step along the way, and it's been an interesting.
Yeah, I told Bo, my business partner with F45, that I think that's actually perfect for F45 because we actually just athletes, getting new influencers, but then trying to find somebody that's kind of at the end of their career that would want to live in Baton Rouge and then maybe even train here, right? Yep. And that's the thing that I like is really cool is you find these kids' interests and you're not just getting kids that are like just telling you that so they can sign on the dot, get their money and leave. You know that these kids are engaged and want to be a part of this brand, hopefully.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the ones that are taking advantage of this program, I mean, they're doing it the right way. We talk to them all the time, and they are, their posts are just very, very creative. Their videos, some of them are funny, and it goes a long way with small business. And I mean, the engagement is, it speaks for itself. So
yeah. Well, I love it. Let's backtrack because I'm a nerd with business and we talk about small business, but talk to me a little bit about how the business got started and especially how you came on as CEO. Sure. What were some of the first things that you guys saw as troubles, successes, things? I'm just interested as a nerd, I'm always interested in startups.
Sure. So, I mean, this was an idea, I would say about a year and a half before NIL came to pass. We heard the acronym NIL being thrown around out there, but we did not really know what date it was going to be rolled out.
Right.
So I'm a case study guy. From my previous life, I wanted to make sure we liked the whole matching algorithm business model.
Yep.
So we wanted to put that to the test. And in the very, very beginning, when I heard the idea, it was all NIL related, but I said, look, we have some time here to kind of figure out if this is even going to work before NIL comes out. So we did a couple of case studies here in town locally with an LSU baseball player and a local brand called Smalls and burgers and sliders over there by LSU. And so we put together a really cool case study wherein the baseball player goes through the drive-through and he says a coin phrase, and then he posts all this on social media, and their revenues went up 20%.
Nice.
Within a couple of days. That owner gives us a call. He's like, look, hey, let's do this again.
Yes.
And so we knew at that point we were on to something. So we continued, while we waited on NIL, we continued to do more and more case studies. And again, it was just over and over, success after success. So when July 1 rolled around, we were sitting right in the driver's seat, and we were ready to take care of these kids. And I mean, of course, July 1, phones start ringing off the hook. Mackenzie and her team, I mean, they're fielding emails. They can't keep up with the demand. I mean, it was in a good way. I mean, it was an exciting time. So
absolutely. And we were having our own moment with NIL, but I remembered in the back of my mind, because I'd crossed paths with a lot of people that had talked about this. I had heard about the rumors about you guys coming together, and I was like, it was a genius idea. I was always fascinated by it. And then as a business owner, I'm like, this is a tool too, right? Like, this is going to be a great thing for us. Yeah. So I'm excited to see the development of it. I'm excited to see you guys grow as a team and look forward to the new additions, and watching it grow. Especially, I don't know where Brandy is, but I heard that you guys are in Canada now, right?
Yeah, man. We had to do that for you.
Yes, exactly.
I caught hell last time I was in here, and look, I made a couple of phone calls and we got it rolled out. So we're international now.
There we go. I love it. I love it. All right, cool. So we're in all North America now, right?
Sure.
So all right, perfect. Yeah, she's living in Baton Rouge, so I got to take it. She is doing some stuff here, and I work with her brand manager too. So we are doing some really cool deals, and it is fun for me to work on, understand on the inner, on the management side. I'm just seeing it full circle, because I have a business that's working with the college athletes too, and then hearing Brandy get her deals. So it's almost like I'm in the middle, just like you guys are too, and I'm like playing both sides of things. So it's been fun to watch it all grow for her. But what are the next steps for you guys now? Obviously, like I said, you're international, but I know that there were some plans to almost make it like a social network, right? Is that started yet? Or
we have meetings daily about how we can get people to really want to open up this app, to continue to communicate with one another through the app, find different reasons and ways, and why, what are some reasons why these people should open up this app every single day. Yes, we have the push notifications and things like that, so it'll ding you when you have a new deal. Yeah. But what else can we provide? And we've got some tricks up our sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think about it all the time, and I think it would be cool just to show the content that people have done, right? Like, just as a user or as a business owner, right, to see what other successful businesses have done, what has engaged well, right? I'm sure I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, but I think it would be fun for me to see those developments and check in on the app and show what other, it's almost like that FOMO, right? I don't want my neighbor to have a better content thing with the LSU player down the street. I want to go get my, and do my version of it too. So.
Yeah. And that's, so we have, I don't mind telling you, since it's rolling out tomorrow, the social media integration is coming out. So that means that it's kind of a verification component on our side. So they're going to have to, when you create a profile, right now you're just responsible for knowing your social media handle, and you put it in there, and then you put in manually the number of followers that you have. Okay. We didn't want to assume that people were going to do that the right way. Right. And so we have a social media integration wherein you are going to be prompted to log into your various social media platforms, and then that will verify it for the business. So that influencer is the real deal. That is their social media. Their numbers are real, and so forth. So that's rolling out tomorrow. So that's exciting. Mac and the team have been working on that for a while.
Dude, that's congratulations. And Mac, I know you're here, and I know you don't like podcast love, but I'm giving you some podcast love. Everybody, Mackenzie Landry's coming on the podcast. We're putting it out there. We're manifesting it. So you're coming on. But no, I am excited about that. I'm excited about the developments. It sounds really cool. And now I do want to start just taking the steps. So if I'm a business owner, talk to me through how I would get started, right? So if I'm new to the app, what are the first steps?
New
As
to
a
the app,
business owner.
obviously download, and then you're going to create that profile I was talking about earlier. You would select brand profile, and then you would go through and you would put in there which influence. Well, first off, tell me a little bit about your business, what type of business that it is. You'll see it's super user friendly. We're talking check marks and multiple choice, very easy. And then you want to talk about which type of influencers you're interested in promoting your business.
Okay.
And then in addition to all of that, you want to type in a really nice bio that goes over the type of business that you are. Maybe, a lot of times we tell the businesses to use the About Us section in their web page or whatever the case. Once you've done all of that, then the algorithm, again, it will match you. So then you can see through our suggested. There's a suggested tab along the top, and those will be your suggested matches for your business based upon how you filled out your profile. And you can scroll through there. You can click on an influencer. Once you've found the influence, you can view their profile. And then once you have selected one, you can make them an offer right there.
Nice.
You can choose, do you want to pay, there's a minimum of $50 for each offer.
Okay.
And then sky's the limit there. Once you select all of that, you send that offer. It goes straight to them. Push notification. They get it on their phone. Cards and Culture made me an offer for $100. I do this, and this on my Instagram or TikTok, whatever the case may be. As a business, you'll want to be as specific as you possibly can to what you want that influencer to do.
Okay.
And then they can either accept, decline, or they can chat with you to kind of sort of renegotiate if they feel that they're worth $200 or whatever the case. Again, all of the money, though, or all of the control as it relates to money falls into the brand's hands. So that's kind of a security feature that we have. And that way, if for whatever reason, anywhere along the way, you decide you don't want to do this or it's not what you asked for, you can get your money back and go on to the next deal. So
I like it.
Yeah.
What about merchandise? Can I offer merchandise through the app, or is it only cash right now?
You can offer merchandise as long as the $50 minimum is met. So and that's of no cost to you or us. So we don't collect any percentage of the value of that merchandise or anything like that. So
that's interesting. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm definitely going to explore that. I think it would be really cool, especially like you said, for the micro influencers. And like we'll have our partnerships with our, our bigger influencers or campaigns, and then it would be really cool to integrate them into that system and like include merch and do different things there.
Yep. I mean, sky's the limit. I'm sure everybody saw one of the first NIL deals was related to the LSU quarterback and Ford. So he got a car that was on the upper end of things.
Yes.
But we do small deals, big deals, and everywhere in between. So,
How's it gone with the influencers that are not athletes? Have you guys expanded a lot in that category?
Yeah, that's actually where we started.
Nice.
With those case studies. So we have food bloggers, mommy bloggers, you name it. We're working with them. And I will say, when it comes to communication and those influencers, they know how this works.
Yeah.
This is not the first, I'll be honest, it's not the first influencer platform. It is the first influencer platform that has a matching mechanism like we have.
Nice.
But there are other influencer platforms out there. It's just that we take a very, very little fee compared to the others, and we have that matching mechanism, and we allow both sides to pitch and offer each other. Other ones kind of put it all on the brands, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I think it's great having the influencers on there too, because I think it's pretty obvious that influencers, this is their job, right? Like baseball players, basketball players, like that's their job. Like they just happen to look good on camera, or they're good looking, or they capture attention, right? And so it's like sometimes there's a drag for them. You don't get their best bolt. Influencers are like pumped. They're dancing. They're doing their shit. Yeah, like
sun up to sundown.
Exactly.
That's all. What's the next deal? And you got to appreciate that. And so actually, speaking of that, we brought in a girl by the name of Crystal Faircloth, and she is a local social media influencer, has over 300,000 followers on her Instagram. But we brought her in to be chief of content because we want her to help these students to know what to do. As a matter of fact, we had our first NIL strategy meeting this past Sunday at Walk-On's corporate, and she was right there, and she was telling me there's a whole the science behind it all, right? It's like John Taffer from Bar Rescue, man. There's a science behind it, and you got to know how many times to post in a week. I'm 40 years old. I don't know about all this stuff.
I'm 32. I don't know shit about it either, dude. I'm like, I hate it. I'm like, that's why like we have great team people here to take care of it, because
team is awesome. Yeah.
Things are changing so much too. Like you have so many other things going on. Like there's a lot of moving parts. It's impossible to keep up with these algorithms and things. And that's why it's like, I give props to the influencers that are like, you love doing this? Great, cool. Like what's your fee? Like this is well worth it. You know, like this is it.
And we wanted to create a platform that it was just super user friendly and easy to use. And we wanted to build a team, which Mac and I have, that in my opinion are second to none. And if you need it, we can provide it as a resource, whatever you need. So
I love that. And I love that you said you're even having like workshops or things like that where you're like going over things. And I think, you know, if you're working with kids and even educating them too and teaching them like along the way, it's going to be, you guys are obviously going to have great success. So
yeah. And I mean, we want to make sure to protect these kids, influencers included. It doesn't have to be a college athlete, but obviously them too. They don't realize how important it is to read what you're about to sign. And by the way, we do not require a contract, but we do know that there are some people out there that are having them sign what I would say their lives away for these exclusive deals. And it's like, look, guys, you got to read the fine print.
Yes.
And we've offered at the strategy meeting, I said, look, it doesn't matter if you download a profile for Matchpoint or not. If you need help, please let us help you, and we will bring in legal counsel, whatever the case may be, to make sure these guys aren't taken advantage of.
That's great, man. That's the same thing. Like that's the same thing. Like with our NIL principle, we give our athletes, and again, we actually took a step back because when July 1st happened, there was a lot of state legislation going on, right? And we just wanted to see everything kind of pan out. We had some excitement. We announced a partnership, but then we took a step back and said, hey, look, it's about these kids, educating them, making sure they know what they're getting into, knowing what we're requiring of them, and like how that responsibility falls on us too, right? So I think this whole thing is a learning curve, but it's about the kids. It's about making lasting relationships, partnerships, sustainability, right? Too. So that's the thing I think that I love working with you guys, your team. If it just sounds amazing. I'm excited to see the growth and see where you guys take it.
Well, man, we just really appreciate it, and we take it to heart. You know, this message and our opportunity to make a good influence on these kids, on influencers, on social media. We want to make sure it's all done the right way. There's no scams or tricks, and we want to protect everybody. So
absolutely. Well, good stuff. I'll make sure that I'm on the app and helping out any way I can. I would love to partner up and do some stuff together.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Good. Well, let everybody know, this has been a great episode, but make sure you let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find the, information on the app. Obviously it's on the App Store, but your social media handles, all that stuff.
Sure. So matchpointconnection.com. My name is Brian Oliver at matchpointconnection.com. If you have any questions, email us. Also support at matchpointconnection.com as well. And that's our customer service department. So
awesome. You guys got social and everything too?
Yeah, sure. Instagram. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on TikTok. So
nice. Well, that too. TikTok's crazy. That's why this is another reason that I'm like, I need a Matchpoint because I don't know shit about TikTok and I ain't trying to learn it either. This is like, we'll let all these influencers do it. Yeah.
TikTok's crazy. Yeah.
Good, man. Well, thank you for the time. I appreciate it, Brian. Looking forward to the future.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.